Welcome to a new video on AlHuTV. Today for you, the Insta360 Link 2 Pro. There are two versions, and as you already saw in the intro, it's super easy to use. You just set it up here and you're ready to go. It really is that simple. I mentioned two versions. Here I have the first one. This version here has the 2-axis gimbal, and then there's the other one, the so-called 2C, which is a compact camera. They are completely identical in terms of features, only the gimbal sets them apart. Here we have auto tracking, and if we take a look, you can actually see it in action. It moves very dynamically, of course, the whole thing. On this side, we basically have the whole thing as AI tracking. That's also possible, so digitally, but here it's with the 2-axis gimbal. Pretty cool, right? And the whole thing also supports 4K, so 4K resolution. It records at 30 frames per second with a 1/1.3 sensor, and that results in really super good footage. Autofocus and so on, it's all included. We'll take a closer look at it on the desktop in a moment, so make sure to stay tuned. I hope I was able to give you a first little insight into what today is about. Of course, we'll also take a look at the desktop in a moment to see what settings we can adjust here. These are the two models side by side. I briefly showed them earlier, and here you can see them again very nicely. So the two models, and especially the gimbal, which looks pretty cool, especially when it's calibrating itself, here on the desktop, or rather on the laptop. Otherwise, yes, our Insta360 Wave is also here. We'll take a look at that as well. It has a certain advantage, especially when you're in meetings and such. But for now, let's stick with the webcams. So these are the two models. As I said, the only difference is right here. One has this gimbal and the other simply doesn't. It's a bit of a price question depending on what you use it for. So the gimbal is, for example, if I'm in the streaming area and I don't need to be flexible because I don't need it since I'm using the whole thing as a screen, etc. Then of course a fixed installation is enough. And for those who want things a bit more dynamic, like me standing in front of the camera right now, or for Insta, or for example also for TikTok and so on, if you need more movement here, then the variation with the gimbal might be more suitable for you, but that's your decision. As I said, the footage we're about to see is absolutely identical. There's really no difference at all. And I'd also say, let's quickly take a look at the desktop together. Then we'll go through each of the individual things. I'll explain to you directly on the desktop what all is included here, what cool features you can set up, and what you can actually do with it. Then we'll take a closer look. All right, let's take a look at the desktop. So as you can see here, everything is now being recorded with OBS. You can use all of this on Twitch and similar platforms. That's no problem at all, because you do not need any additional software here except for the Insta360 controller that is available for this. And then you can do whatever you want with it. You don't have to install a separate controller for every type of software. That's not necessary. That's already very good. Just like with OBS here, you can start right away, everything is recognized, no problem at all. Yes, and what's really nice here is that I can see everything I can set up right here. We can go through it step by step, so you can get an idea of the range of features included here. I'd say let's take a look down here because there's already the first option. You can choose different types of microphones here. That means I can use the one from the webcam, but I can also, for example, if I'm using a headset, use the headset's microphone. Or later on, I can use our 360 Wave as the microphone. I can set that up as well. We'll also do a sound comparison afterwards, and here I can already hide the survey researchers, but what's also interesting here is definitely the resolution. We now have 4K at 30 frames per second, which is pretty cool. And also with autofocus, if we take a look here now, yeah, you can already see how good the whole thing is, also in terms of quality. That's really incredible. And you could also switch to 1080p here if you wanted. With 60 frames per second, that wouldn't be a problem either. That would also be an option. So let's stick with this 4K for now though. So then we have a short switching time, but that's really not an issue at all. And then down here, you can already see the first functions. We have the AI tracking. I showed you that earlier. I can activate it here, and I can also activate it here with my hand, but I don't want to do that right now, just for a moment. Then I have the option here to use gesture control. I can show it again here. You can see that it also affects the whiteboard and the zoom. That's possible. As I said, that's another option. So otherwise I can not only do this via gesture control, but also directly here with the whiteboard. Then search. We'll do that in a moment. I'll show you that afterwards as well. And we also have desk view here. Then the camera pans down and I could basically use the tablet and so on here. You can present something here. That would be another option as well, especially if you're drawing something or presenting something. It's actually pretty cool. So let's stick with it. It definitely continues here. You can already see start AI recording. That's still possible. We have several options here. We can also record directly, as you saw earlier. From the second perspective, in the end, we recorded it directly, so you only see the actual image. Yeah, and then we're already on the page and there's quite a lot there. So I don't want to go into everything in complete detail now, otherwise we'd be talking about it for hours. We can pre-program scenes here. That means when I'm here, he can also save the whole thing right here. Then I have scene presets, which means color, lighting, and so on. When do I need that? I can explain that to you in a moment as well. Because later on there will be a huge selection for the image, as you can already see. And here, for example, when it comes to white balance, you already have, right now it's set to automatic, but if I turn it off, then I can adjust the temperature myself. Why is that important? If I'm giving presentations with a projector, for example, the automatic white balance often gives me a color cast, so I need to make it cooler. And then the projection from the projector looks much better. Just as a little tip, you usually don't need it, so you can leave it on automatic, but these are the kinds of things you can save as scene presets. The same goes for HDR settings, exposure and so on. Otherwise, I can adjust it here however I like. That's also super practical and gives us countless possibilities to set everything up just the way we need it. Now, of course, there are the virtual backgrounds. That's also pretty cool. Here too, the room just needs a second. And now I'm basically here in my gaming room. That's also done pretty well. You can do that. If you're working from home, you can set it up a bit differently. Then it doesn't look quite so wild. Otherwise, there are certain filters you can use, like makeup, for example. But that's only possible if you're not in 4K and 30 frames, but in 1080p. But it's also shown here that it doesn't work at this resolution. So for example, if a woman goes on camera without makeup, you can use this to enhance things a little bit. Well, I don't need that, I own it. I'm just plain ugly. No, I don't think it's that bad. And then, as I said, we have a lot of presets you can set up here. Then views, we can of course also zoom in. That's possible too, and then I just get bigger and bigger. Then it gets uglier. Yeah, okay. Otherwise, we can also remove the effects again if we don't want them. After that, we are returning to the normal operating mode. So that's it. It's actually pretty cool. Let's stick with the image for a moment. I was a bit brief there. And of course, there are a few more things you can do. The auto flicker, that's something I wanted to show you again. I can play you something for that. Yeah, when playing back this auto flicker, you can see how I manually influence the frequency. You get a certain flicker here, especially with LEDs, which run at 50 Hertz. If it doesn't match up, then they flicker if I don't have the same frame rate. And you can adjust that here automatically so that the flicker disappears. That's obviously super practical, especially when I have LEDs in the background, which then cause this flicker. And then the whole camera or the whole recording just doesn't look as nice if they're still flickering. Let's keep looking here on the desktop. I've now switched to 1080p, and here I have some more options. As I mentioned, I can still use these makeup filters here, but what I wanted to show you is this green screen feature, which I can enable here. I can activate it then. In my case, I don't have a green screen right now, but many people, for example gamers, use a green screen. And that's of course super interesting. If I have a green background and want to see myself again in my recording, you all know this from Twitch and similar platforms, you can easily activate this here in the studio as well. It looks pretty cool then. Almost all streamers do this too. You can also easily overlay it here. So this is also supported by this webcam here. I've already shown you quite a bit on the desktop, but now I want to show you something else. Here, the audio recording, we were just talking about that. Of course, we can mute it, that's no problem at all. We can also make further audio adjustments here. And that brings us to the settings, which are also interesting. Here I can switch from standard to wide and focused. It's like a directional microphone and influence the whole thing that way. How many people are there? Am I here alone in front of the camera? I can optimize that a bit. I think I've done that pretty well. I just want to briefly include you as well so everyone can hear what the sound is like. Yes, we want to test the microphone now. I'm about 40 to 50 centimeters away from the webcam and therefore also from the microphone. Here we have the setting for this directional microphone since I'm looking directly at it. And since I would be presenting here or doing other things, and if I move around, this is how the recording sounds. It sounds decent. You definitely don't have to hide with this. You can really work well with it. If you want to take the sound quality up another notch, well, it's already pretty good. Here, using the microphones built into the webcam itself, here we have the Insta360 Wave, which I'd like to quickly recommend to you. Especially if I'm working here and need a microphone that's closer to me, I have the option to use it wirelessly with a battery. I can start recording directly, but I can also connect it via USB-C, just like the webcam. And then it's included directly in the recording without me having to start it separately. That's another option. So for a conference room, for example, it's ideal to just set it up and start recording. Or of course, you can also connect everything directly here with the webcam and the USB-C port. That's also possible. And then you get a great recording here, especially with excellent audio output, which is of course fantastic. Here's a quick example of that. With the Insta360 Wave, we now have everything set up with a comfortable 40 centimeters distance. For example, I could use it while gaming, just having it there. And of course, you can also place it centrally in meetings. That's of course also possible because here we simply have the option to record audio from anywhere, but also, as mentioned, to play back the audio. That's definitely an advantage of the Insta360 Wave, and here too the recording sounds quite decent. Now you've seen a bit of both. Just got a little insight. As I said, the sound is pretty good. I think both the webcam and the Wave 360 or Insta360 Wave sound quite good. Yeah, it's really good. Yes, but the audio output here is truly excellent. I just have to say that. Amazing. So let's take another quick look at the desktop. There are one or two things I want to show you. So here we still have general settings. As you can see, there's quite a bit you can go through here. We have intelligent horizontal correction here, which you can also adjust. And so on and so forth here as well. Portrait resolution, these are a few more settings you can go through here. You've already seen that. Also with the AI recording, you can do a bit more. You can also use keyboard shortcuts to quickly switch back and forth. Insta360 has really brought something decent to the market here with the Link 2 Pro, especially with the 4K resolution. So that's really amazing. I think it's fantastic. And as you can see, you can also present with the whiteboard and groove. Webinars, regular home office work where I might need to present something. Of course, it's also ideal for gaming. Yes, even the compact version. Super cool there as well. Both models have zoom too. That's really, really impressive. Cool. And we also have an auto zoom here, which we can activate as well. And you could really play around a lot here, adjust a lot of settings. These are really huge possibilities that this webcam offers. At the same time, it's super easy to use because you just plug it in and can get started right away. You just need to install the controller. So simple and yet so cool. And as I said, as a second perspective for my recordings, it's also very interesting. You can use it for things like that too, maybe from a slightly different angle. But these are some of the ways you can use something like this. So I hope I was able to give you some insight. Really cool features, definitely, and it definitely has a lot of potential. It's actually a lot of fun with a webcam like this that moves. It's just made really cool and dynamic. You'll find everything about it down in the description, and of course you can also leave a comment. But that's not an issue at all. And I hope I've packed quite a lot in here. Whiteboard and co. That's a pretty cool idea too. So definitely a cool piece of tech. And I hope I was able to show you quite a bit. Or just subscribe and like. It would also be super cool to hype up the video. And see you next time on AlHuTV.